Investment advice offered through Private Advisor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and Hoffman Wealth Management are separate entities from LPL Financial. First down run here for the Bears, and that is Buckshow Sanders with a nice run there for some big yards. Almost got the first down. It's about a gain of 9 on that first down run for Sanders.
Savion Harper finally there to make the stop for the Jayhawks. Sanders went straight ahead, right at the Jeannette defense.
You would think the Bears could do that just about all they wanted. This time Sanders, the quarterback, runs the ball, and he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. That's Tavon Briston, who makes the tackle for the Hawks. 200-pound senior captain up front for Jeannette. Big third down here for the Bears. It's Sanders. Look at him just run through people. Buckshow Sanders all the way down to the 30-yard line when he probably should have been stopped in the backfield. Big time run there for the D1 potential senior for the Clairton Bears.
Take a look at this on the replay. Straight up the middle, right at the Jeannette defense. Breaks a tackle, breaks another tackle, across the 40-yard line, down to the 35. Still legs are churning. Finally brought down there. Eli Benakonski was there. First and 10 Bears.
He's got those big thighs like Lamont Wade had back in the day for the Bears. Back in the day, it was just a few years ago, but still. Sanders back to pass, looking downfield. He's got a man, and it is going to be caught inside the 10-yard line. Number 6, Brooklyn Cannon makes the catch. Nope. They're going to call it incomplete.
Yeah, great job on the coverage. That was definitely tight coverage. Looked like Toby Klein on the coverage. Take a look at this replay, and you're going to see Elijah Benakonski come flying in with a big hit on the quarterback. Pass just grabbed, going down, hits the ground. Incomplete. Does come out. Good call by the officials.
Just at the end there, it came out, so it is an incomplete pass, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10 now for the Bears.
Yeah, Brooklyn Cannon definitely had the football in his hands and then hit the turf here at McKee Stadium. Incomplete.
Bears will try to throw it again. Got a man to the far side of the field. Caught. Dropped as soon as he made the catch, but a nice gain there on the play. As Sanders go to Andre Henderson, 6'1", 160-pound senior.
James Sanders right there to make the quick stop. Ball goes back to the 31-yard line.
3rd and 10 now for the Bears. Trips to the near side of the field, lone wide receiver to the far side of the field for Sanders, and Sanders in the backfield. Sanders gets the snap, and he's going to run with it, led by his brother. Picks up 5, keeps driving forward, down to about the 24-yard line. So if that's where the spot is,
first quarter.
Ryan Kimmel, one of those guys rotating in up front, the 6'1", 205-pound sophomore. Played a good bit last year as a freshman. Expecting big things from him before his career's over here at Jeannette. So here comes a big 4th down for the Bears. Sanders going to look to throw right down the middle of the field. He's got a man, he's got a touchdown. 24-yard touchdown pass, as that is Sanders to Isaiah Berry, and the Bears are on the board.
Pass from number 12, John Tay.
Running wide open in the secondary. Beautiful pass and catch for the score. The Bears respond on 4th down. They convert. Take a look at it on the replay here.
Slot receiver there was Berry, right down the middle of the field, and just broke through the safety and the linebacker there. In the swinging gate formation here, kind of the lonesome polecat style. See if the line all moves over to join the center. Berry in the backfield along with Cannon, but Berry's going to take the direct snap and looking to throw it, but it is tipped and incomplete. We do have a flag down, however, so let's see what the flag is before we take a break. As right now, the Jayhawks will cling to a 7-6 lead, and it does look like it's against the Bears. So the Jayhawks will likely elect to, they're going to defer the penalty, decline it. So it will be no good, and that puts our score officially Jayhawks 7, Bears 6.
Own 44-yard line.
Hawks moved the ball very effectively on their opening drive. Stalled a little bit on the second drive. Brett Birch, the freshman quarterback, big things expected from him by the time his career is over here.
Number 6,
So second down and 10 for the Jayhawks with 1:33 remaining here in this first quarter. Both teams have shown some effectiveness. Both teams have shown a little sluggish at times, but first quarter of the first game of the year.
Something to keep in mind, Anth, you brought it up in the pregame show. The Jayhawks scored first in last year's game as well and then did not score again. Brett Birch this time looking to throw downfield, looking for Jimmy Sanders. It's incomplete, but these two teams are going to be completely different if they were to meet again in the playoffs in October or November.
Very true.
Birch rolls out, looks down the middle of the field, man, wide open. It's Jimmy Sanders putting on the moves again. He's got a first down and more into Bears territory. Birch to Jimmy Sanders.
Wow, Jimmy Sanders was wide open football field, and Brett Birch had nowhere else to go but there. He said, wow, he's wide open. Look at that. Makes the catch right in the Jayhawk into the 43-yard line. Into Bears territory.
So Roy Hall did not tell us, but did they convert to the run and shoot offense in the offseason?
Sure looks like
They've only ran a few times here tonight. Here's another one as Roberto Smith Jr. tries to pick his way forward, gets about a yard, and that's
number
it.
5, Roberto Smith Jr. with the carry.
Another
Brought
first
down by number 5.
Jayhawks
Garrett
picking up
Anderson.
first downs, moving the football in a variety of ways.
Second down, Jayhawks.
Trying to get everybody into the mix. You know, Roberto Smith Jr. was very instrumental last year with the football in his hand, so they're doing what they can to put the football in to these athletes' hands to make things happen for the team.
2nd and 9 here for the Hawks. Birch back to pass, looked for his brother on the screen. Look at him get away from the Bears. Rolls downfield. Now he's going to step up, but the ball is wiggling around and he loses it. And who is going to come up with it? Looks like the Bears have it. Justin Shank tried to fight for it, but nope. The Bears are going to come up with it. That's number 10, Christian Jenko, who comes up with the recovery.
That was the first time that Brad Birch really had to scramble. You take a look at it on the replay here early on, it almost looked like he had his face mask grabbed right there. Oh, it looks like he was around the shoulder. So maybe not, but did a nice job to get out of some trouble right there, then had the football out, and that is one thing you can't do ever, let alone against the Clairton Bears, because they will take advantage of it. So turnover goes in favor of the Bears.
So the first turnover of Brad Birch's career, but it was pretty impressive to see him get away from the tacklers in the backfield there anyway.
And that's Jeanette's 5th penalty on the night. So one thing that Coach Hall will not be pleased with thus far is those penalties.
You expect that in the first game, but the Bears really haven't done that at all here to start. They've been pretty clean. So it's 1st and 5. And it's Buckshow. Look at him lower the shoulder, move forward. He's going to be very close to the first down. 6 foot, 240-pound senior.
Looks very strong with the football, Brent.
Look at those thigh pads. Before the end of the first quarter, Jeannette leading 7-6. And they do get the snap off, and it's Sanders running with the football again, and he's across the 45 to the 44-yard line, so a nice run there. We'll bring up a 2nd and about 7.
This is Sean Myers. And this is Dan Flickinger. Join us every Wednesday night throughout the season for Westmoreland on the Gridiron.
We discuss the biggest news involving Westmoreland County and WPIAL football, break down all of the games with our Westmoreland Sports Network announcers, plus we're joined every week by local players and coaches.
And of course, everyone's favorite segment, the Plays of the Week.
10-5, goal line! Touchdown!
That's Westmoreland on the Gridiron every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Back in the building to start the second quarter at McKee Stadium here. The Jayhawks leading the Clairton Bears 7-6, but the Bears with the football and on the move here. They'll have a 2nd and 7 from the Jayhawk 44-yard line.
While we have a moment, Brent, this is September 11th. So last game Jeannette played on September 11th was in 2015, right here at McKee Stadium, where Jeannette got their 700th all-time victory, where they beat Sarah Catholic 42-7.
Remembering back to 2001, I remember that Friday they canceled all high school football games because we had a National Day of Prayer. So the Jayhawks actually played at South Allegheny the next day, Saturday. I remember me and you going down to that game together.
Yes.
And this time Sanders going to keep it himself, dance his way through. He's got a first down and much more. past the 30, knocked out of bounds at about the 28-yard line. Nice run there by the senior quarterback.
Pushed out of bounds by number 7, Brent Birch.
Take a look at this replay. Brent fakes
First
the
down,
handoff
Bears.
inside, tucks it, keeps it, gets past the Jeannette defensive line into open territory, past the 30-yard line.
There was a lot of open field there. So 1st and 10 here for the Clairton Bears, and it's Dante Sanders running over his own man that time for some positive yardage, but we have a penalty flag thrown right in the middle of everything. Clairton has won 7 of 9 games these teams have played since Jeannette dropped down to single A, but again, the home team has won the last 3 contests in the regular season. As this time Sanders going to be back to pass, feels a little bit of pressure, but he can step right up into it. Has a man open right at the goal line, but Jimmy Sanders is there as well. Who are they going to give it to? No signal yet. Referee's still trying to work it out. It's either a touchdown or an INT. Which one's it going to be?
Well, we're going to go to the replay, but I can tell you,
They give it to the
Jimmy
Jayhawks.
Sanders had that football initially. He had it. Crucial the turnovers are. This pass was heaved from the 45-yard line all the way down to the goal line, just a little bit short, but as you can see, Jimmy Sanders has the football. He comes down with it, corrals it, does not let the football hit the turf. Interception.
Jimmy Sanders only 5'7", and he used it all on that one. Birch in the backfield with Roberto Smith Jr., part-time quarterback last year after he transferred from Greensburg-Salem. Got Spanky Piscar in motion. Sanders floats it, or Birch floats it out to Sanders. And look at him pick his way forward. He's all the way out to about the 43-yard line. Jimmy Sanders is on fire in this game, offensively and defensively.
Jimmy Sanders gets the football. Look at that. Makes some Clairton Bears miss. Gets across the 30-yard line. Picks up a Jeannette first down and more.
Brad Birch has got to be close to 100 yards, if not over, throwing the football already. And the majority of those have gone to Jimmy Sanders.
And he's very cool, very calm, very collected. He's wearing that number 12. He looks like Tom Brady, although he's not in here now. Roberto Smith Jr. is in a quarterback.
He'll take the snap. Sends a man in motion. It's a hard snap. Was able to go down and get it. Designed run, and he's got a first down and more. Look at Roberto Smith Jr. Turn on the speed. Woo! 59-yard touchdown run. And no flags anywhere to be seen.
Brent, it almost looked like a busted play. The football was on the turf at McKee Stadium. Roberto Smith Jr. picks up the football, takes a couple steps and turns on the Jets right through all the Clairton Bears into the south end zone for the Jeannette score. He almost didn't know what to do with the football, Brent. Take a look. He goes, I'm going to go over to the Jeannette sideline. I might kick up a few yards, get out of bounds. No, sirree. Turns to the left. See you later, Clairton Bears. All I see is green in front of me. I'm going to keep on running to Route 30. Touchdown, Jeannette.
Snap and the hold are good, and Eli, 15-6 here, 10:27 to go, as Eli Benakonski will again do one of those pooch kicks, fielded at the 31-yard line by the Clairton Bears, up across the 40. That's number 2. Brent Whigham, Anthony DeNunzio with here tonight. We've got Marcus Weakland working the cameras for us, and Westmoreland Sports CEO Dan Flickinger also up here. It'll be up to some school districts whether they let us into the stadium or not, and knowing Anthony's reputation, they probably won't.
True.
And we've got a run here by Greg Lee, the backup running back for the Bears, and he's pretty tough as well, out to the 34-yard line, so a gain of about 6 on that first down run.
Justin Shank is at the bottom of that pile.
Number 2, Greg Lee with the carry.
But no, so we do want to thank Dan and everybody at Westmoreland Sports for putting out such a powerful, top-notch product for everybody to watch and listen to week after week. Not only Jeannette games, they've been doing this for over a decade, and we're thankful to have them and thankful to be here bringing high school football to you.
This year more than ever, as this is the only way a lot of parents will get to see their sons play. Spanky Piscar with a big hit on Greg Lee, but still bounces forward for about 3 yards there for the Bears.
Yeah, Spanky Piscar has done a fantastic job last year and also tonight. Lowers his shoulder, good tackle. Now the Bears are facing a third down in about 3, it looks like.
Sanders comes to the sideline to get the call. Dante's back there with him this time on this key third down. Sanders gives it to Sanders. He's got the first down and much more. Look at him pick his way across midfield. Now he's going to turn on the Jets all the way inside the 25-yard line. Dante Sanders with a huge run for the Clairton Bears.
Just looking like an absolute machine. Picks up the first down with ease. Bursts into Jeannette territory. Take a look. Broke a couple tackles, but now look at him, Brent, down into Jeannette territory.
Look at big Justin Shank running down there, though, trying to catch the big fella. Nice hustle there by Justin Shank. Didn't make the tackle, but still like to see that. So we got the first time out of the evening for the Jayhawks, as the Jeannette Jayhawks lead the number 1 ranked team in the state, the Clairton Bears, 14-6, but the Bears are on the move here. As you check out the Jayhawk cheerleaders, they've been putting a lot of work in to get ready for this season as well. And we're glad they can be here tonight along with the Jayhawk band. And again, about 40 fans. The Gateway leading Franklin Regional 35-0 already in that one. And Southmoreland 14, South Park 7. Of course, Southmoreland last season snapping that long playoff drought. Looking to get back there again this year. This is Dante Sanders running to the left side here. And he's got some good positive yardage. Going to be,
looks like a first down.
Yeah, looks like he's got it. Needed 5, got about 6. So first down for the Bears as they are looking to get back into that blue end zone of the Hawks.
It's a beautiful shot of William A. Shumo Field at McKee Stadium. The track here at Jeannette, that is a new addition here in 2020. So we had
low snap, but Sanders goes down and gets it. And gives it to Dante, who's got more positive yardage inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. Eli Benakonski with the tackle for the Hawks.
Yeah, good job by Eli.
Talked about Eli, Anth, gained 30 pounds in the offseason, up to 185 pounds. Again, only a sophomore. You mentioned a great wrestler, and boy, does Roy Hall love good wrestlers on the football team. He's been saying that for years. Of course, he was a very good wrestler himself in high school. You can see Dante Sanders. They're going to run him until the wheels fall off.
Second down, Bears.
You can hear Trevor Petrillo, one of the assistant coaches for the Hawks, shouting instructions from the sidelines.
That's one thing that Jeannette does have is an experienced coaching staff. They've been doing this for many, many years. That is definitely something to take note of.
Sanders goes down and gets the snap once again, and it's Dante running with it, and he is going to pick his way all the way down to the 1-yard line. Such a patient runner, and then when he sees that hole, explodes forward. So he is going to be down at the 1, first and goal from the 1.
Now you see Sanders doing what he has done best here tonight, and that is run through the Jeannette defense, and he gets all the way down to the goal line.
Have to expect him to get it again here on this first and goal.
The Westmoreland Sports Network is available on social media. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and like our page on Facebook for the latest Westmoreland County sports news, WSN broadcast links, scores, game stories, videos, pictures, and much, much more. Also be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for archived interviews and broadcast highlights. The Westmoreland Sports Network is available whenever and however you want it.
For a big play here, as it will be first and goal from the Bears at the Jayhawk 1-yard line behind that big offensive line and the stud running back Dante Sanders.
First down, Bears.
Dave Kuntz, the center, snaps it back to Sanders, gives it to Dante, and good job defensively by the Hawks there. Did they get it? The signal is up. Touchdown. 1-yard run. Dante Sanders put 6 more points on the board for the Clairton Bears.
Definitely caps off the drive. Strong run there. Now the Bears will have a decision to make. Will they kick? Will they go for 2? Down 2.
Dante Sanders, a workhorse for the Clairton Bears here in this first half. He has been their main source of offense along with the touchdown pass. Dante Sanders to Brooklyn Cannon. So they're going to go for 2, as the Clairton teams always seem to do. And this is a big one here because this would tie the game. Low snap, bounced back to the quarterback Sanders. He feels some pressure, gets away from Eli Benakonski, has a man wide open in the end zone, and the 2-point conversion is good as Don Napper makes the catch for the Bears.
Eli Benakonski had him in the backfield, simply spun out of it, broke free, found Don Napper in the end zone waving his hand.
Brett Birch, Toby Klein back deep for Jeannette after a 1-yard touchdown run by Dante Sanders, and the 2-point conversion ties this one up, 14s apiece. Low ball picked up by Toby Klein. He's across the 35, out to the 40, and flipped up to about the 44-yard line. So that's where the Hawks will take over. 1st and 10. This one tied up for the first time since it was 0-0 to start it out.
Brent gone from last year. Jackson Pruitt, Justin Kramer, Amani Sanders, Nate Rue, Zach Crutchman. And back for the Jayhawks, Brett Birch, Kalen Piscar, James Sanders, Roberto Smith Jr., Toby Klein. Those are the guys that have the football tonight. They've been able to make some plays. See if they can continue this here in the second quarter.
So here comes Brad Birch again, 6 foot, 180-pound freshman. The first freshman quarterback ever to start here at Jeannette, at least as far as anyone knows. And he has looked good so far here in this first half. Brings his brother Brett in motion. Gets the snap, feels some pressure, gets rid of it to Jimmy Sanders on the screen, and look at Jimmy Sanders go, 1st down and more, and he wants it all. Jimmy Sanders gonna take it to the house for the Jayhawks. 57-yard touchdown pass. Brett Birch to Jimmy Sanders.
Another big play by Jimmy Sanders. Great throw just out of the backfield by Brad Birch. Jimmy Sanders does the rest, takes it at his own 40-yard line, right in front of the Jeannette bench. Across midfield, away he goes for the Jeannette score.
Hawks had some of those linemen downfield blocking for him, but because the pass was thrown behind the line of scrimmage, that's allowed. So Eli Benakonski on for another extra point attempt here. He's 2 of 2 on the night. Jimmy Sanders will be the holder. Probably got to catch his breath here. High snap, but Sanders gets it down, and Eli puts the leg to it for another point. One play on that drive, and the Hawks take a 21-14 lead. If you don't have Jimmy Sanders on your fantasy football team, you better pick him up now. 2 touchdown receptions tonight for the senior receiver for Jeannette. 120 yards, and the last one 57 yards. And the Hawks take a 21-14 lead over the Clairton Bears here in the second quarter. Eli Benakonski, another one of those punch kicks, fielded by the up man. That's Kunz, who just drops down. And the Bears will take over at the 44-yard line. So the Bears will take over 1st and 10. Number 1 ranked team in the state, defending WPIAL champions. Beat Stowe Rocks in the WPIAL final last year. Of course, Stowe Rocks, the team that knocked Jeannette out of the playoffs last year.
1st and 10 for the Bears from their own 44.
Sanders and Sanders in the backfield, and it's Dante who's going to run with it. Flag down, but Dante still picking his way forward. He's got 8 positive yards if the play stands. We'll see what the referee's call is. We're glad to have football back, however strange it is being here. Sanders going to throw this one downfield. Got a couple of men there, and it is going to be caught with the catch. Brooklyn Cannon taking it all the way in. Wow, 67-yard touchdown pass. Jonte Sanders to Brooklyn Cannon.
Number 6, Brooklyn Cannon.
What a throw, what a catch, what a game. The Bears answer right back.
Brett Birch was there, but the ball somehow got right through him into the hands of Brooklyn Cannon, who has his 2nd touchdown reception of that. Look at that. That ball went right through Brett Birch's hands, and Cannon somehow was able to keep his concentration and his eyes on the football to make the catch. This time just going to swing it over there, but the Jayhawks saw it coming, and they are going to stop at Toby Klein with the tackle there. So the 2-point attempt is no good. Hawks cling to a 1-point lead, 21-20. Back in the building to what has been an incredible first half of football here at McKee Stadium. Jayhawks leading 21-20 over the Clairton Bears as Lee kicks off, and it's fielded by Brett Birch as he waits for some blocks. Now bounces off a tackler and going to go out of bounds there at about the 45. Again, good starting field position here for the Hawks as they are clinging to that 1-point lead.
Right now, let's go back and take another look at that touchdown pass. Beautifully thrown football. Great catch by Brooklyn Cannon. Gets to the 25-yard line and races into the end zone for the score.
Birch and Smith in the backfield for the Hawks. Back to pass is Birch. Looks far side's got a man over there. That's Sanders once again. Be 2nd and 10 now here for Jeannette. 5:12 to go first half. Trips to the near side of the field for the Jayhawks. Smith in the backfield with Birch. And he's going to get the handoff this time. Moves forward for about 4 yards. Justin Shank there. Ryan Kimmel. Emilio Huerta. Tavon Briston. Christian Blasco. Those are the 5 starting offensive linemen for the Hawks. 3 seniors, a junior, and a sophomore. But Huerta really the only one who was a starter last year, although several of those others did get some good playing time. Low snap this time. Birch goes down to get it.
For the Bears is Brooklyn Cannon.
High snap. Klein goes up and gets it and gets off a good punt. Fair catch called for. Now is a change of pace. Isaiah Berry is back there at the tailback, 5'7", 180 pounds. Rushed for over 1,000 yards last year and 15 touchdowns. Dante Sanders has been the primary tailback so far in this game. And brother Jonte gets the snap here, looking downfield, has plenty of time. Races away from Tavon Briston. Now going to float it downfield. Had a couple of receivers down there. That could have been a huge play, but it's an incomplete pass. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10.
We do have a penalty marker that is down.
Buck shows Sanders, checks back in.
Got some positive yardage there for sure.
Dante Sanders with the carry.
Sanders gets the snap, just going to give it to Dante, who spins forwards, got the first down and more. Hawks again had him stopped, but Dante Sanders does not let the first guy bring him down no matter what. And he's got a first down there.
Yeah, Eli Benakonski and Kalen Piskar went for a little ride there. Sanders picked up the first down and more. This drive for the Bears started at the 18-yard line. Now they are at the 36.
Jonte and Dante. A dangerous tag team in the backfield there for the Bears. 1st and 10. Low snap. Sanders going to look to throw. Feels some pressure, and he is hit hard. Lost the ball for a moment. Spanky Piskar will get credit for that sack for the Jayhawks.
We saw a lot of that last year with Kalen Spanky Piskar finding his way into the backfield and bringing down the quarterback, and this time he did it again.
And he's really going to be counted on this year. You know this Clairton football team can score from anywhere on the field. Sanders again back to pass, has a man far side, but overthrows him, so it's incomplete. A lot of band parents are tuning in here tonight as well. We'll get you a good look at the Jayhawk band here at halftime. As Sanders floats it downfield, and this one is going to be picked off for the Jayhawks. That's Noah Sanders, the 5'6", 135-pound sophomore, Jimmy's younger brother, who makes the pick, and the Hawks will get one more chance with the football here, but you see that flag down, and it's in the area where it could be that call.
Roughing the passer against the Jayhawks.
Took a big hit, too.
Jonte very slow to get up here as we see Noah Sanders making the interception that is not to be.
This is kind of confusing me because Noah Sanders last year was number 4, and now he gave that number to brother Jimmy, and he's wearing number 20.
Well, they got to.
Here's Isaiah Berry, and he's a guy you don't want running loose against the Jayhawk defense all the way down to the 44-yard line. So a first down and much, much more. And now maybe Clairton rethinks things here. Still 27 seconds to go. For the latest on Westmoreland County High School football, tune into Westmoreland on the Gridiron every Wednesday night at 7 on Westmoreland Sports Network. Westmoreland on the Gridiron features discussion on the biggest stories in high school football, a breakdown of all the games, plays of the week, and special interviews with a coach and player. That's Westmoreland on the Gridiron, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Brett, you know, Jonte Sanders has been very crucial tonight for the Bears. You know, last year he played a little bit at wide receiver, lined up in the slot. He had a big reception against the Jayhawks. A pretty good blocker too, and he even had a pick in the WPL championship game. So he's definitely making some moves here tonight, as he did last year. And
Jonte Sanders, look at that strong arm, a little too strong. Of course, the Bears have the kind of athletes you can just kind of throw a couple passes into the end zone you want.
And Jonte can do it. He's shown it already tonight with success.
Spanky Piscar, senior linebacker, captain on this football team for Jeannette. Empty set backfield here. He's got 3 wide receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side, back to pass. Looking down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete as he was looking for Isaiah Berry. Nope. Sanders gets the snap, back to pass. He's got plenty of time, sets up the screen to Isaiah Berry. Has got some blockers in front, but it's a man from behind who makes the tackle. Ryan Kimmel with some hustle and a big tackle there. That will be the end of the first half. So Ryan Kimmel with a nice tackle on Isaiah Berry to end the first half. Jeannette 21, Clairton 20. We'll be back in a moment to start up the Excella Health halftime show right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. But here's Jonte Sanders again running behind that big offensive line and just pushes his way forward for about 5, maybe 6 yards. Jimmy Sanders comes in from his cornerback spot to make that tackle.
Paulo.
Here's Buck Show again, going to run with it. Look at that patience on the cutback. Then lowers the shoulder at the end, and again, look at Jonte Sanders run. 5, 4, 3, 2. He is in. 52-yard touchdown run for Buck Show, and he is down. Well, he has been running hard all night long. Bears feeling really good about themselves after that strong run by Buck Show Sanders, 52 yards. And the Clairton Bears have their first lead of the evening, currently 26-21, with the 2-point conversion still to come.
Just how strong, Brent. Right through the Jeannette defense with the stiff arm. Tough customer, racking up the yardage tonight. We talked a little bit about Jeannette and home openers and how successful they've been throughout the years. The last time Jeannette lost a home opener was September 3rd, 1993. It was 27 years ago.
Here come the Bears for the 2-point conversion. Sanders has twin receivers to both sides of the field, Berry in the backfield with him. And he is going to roll to the far side and has Isaiah Berry for the easy 2-point conversion. So the Clairton Bears extend the lead, 28-21 the score, 11-11 to go in the third, leading for the first time here tonight, 28-21. After that huge run by Jonte Sanders, the senior running back for the Clairton Bears. Squib kick right to the middle, fielded by Tashawn Jamison, who's across the 40, but stopped right there at
Brad Birch in the gun.
So we'll see how the Hawks react to trailing for the first time here tonight. It's Roberto Smith Jr. is going to get the handoff and thrown for a big loss, and you can see the clapping of the hands from the Clairton Bears. They are feeling it right now as momentum has certainly swung. 2nd and 14 now, so clear passing situation for the Jayhawks. The Bears could put the blitz on. Birch gets back to pass. Got a good amount of time. Has a receiver over there just past the outstretched arms of Toby Klein along the far sideline. He was open, but incomplete. Brings up a 3rd and long.
Jeannette looking for a first down here, but that Clairton Bears defense attacking.
3rd down, Jayhawks.
Locker room must have done them some good for sure. You saw it on offense with a long touchdown run, and you see it here on defense and the ability of these teams to make adjustments on the fly, and the Bears did so in the locker room. And
so 3rd and 14 here for Jeannette, trailing 28-21. Eli Benakonski in motion for the Hawks. Birch back to pass, sets up the screen to brother Brett. He's got some room, but won't be enough for a first down. at McKee Stadium. They do get the snap off just in time as Klein going to do one of those rolling kicks, and it goes out of bounds. That was his worst punt of the night, so maybe he shouldn't do those Australian-style punts anymore.
Yeah, Dante Sanders is okay. He is trotting his way back onto the football field, so that is definitely something that the Jayhawks are going to have to deal with.
Yeah, especially with the lead now. They can keep feeding Buck Show.
And run the clock.
St. Francis, a few other schools recruiting the senior tailback for the Clairton Bears. St. Francis has also offered the big lineman Demetrius Weatherspoon, 6'6", 305-pound senior tackle. They'd like to have both of those guys down there for St. Francis. Sanders and Sanders again in the backfield for the Bears. And it's going to be Dante. He's got a lot of room, and he's got an easy 6-7 yards on that first down run.
Picks up right where they left off.
Want to say hello to George Lucas, checking us out here tonight on the Westmoreland Sports Network.
Hey, George, we miss you.
No, not that George Lucas, another George Lucas, but our favorite of the George Lucases. 8:49 to go here in the third. There's Buck Show again, and this time he's started behind the line of scrimmage for once. Roberto Smith Jr. with a nice tackle there.
While we have a quick moment here, we do want to thank everybody here at Jeannette for providing us the opportunity to broadcast the game. Athletic Director Ryan Hayden, Superintendent Matt Jones, and John Dorsbacher always takes care of us here at the grounds.
Yes, he does. It's Isaiah Berry. Should have been stopped in the backfield, but dances his way forward. He's got a first down and much more out to the 30-yard line. Isaiah Berry, first down for the Bears.
This has been a lethal combination tonight, Brent. Sanders and Berry have been able to run at the Jeannette defense. Not much deviation. They're just going on the left side and going straight ahead. They've been able to make some moves and mixing it up now with Berry as they give Sanders a break. So that's another Clairton first down, and they're deeper into Jeannette territory.
As it's been a heavy dose of Sanders mixed in with a little bit of Berry. So here comes Clairton with another 1st and 10, up 7 points. And this time the Jayhawk defense is ready for it, as Berry still found a way to squirt his way forward, maybe a yard gain there when it should have probably been about a 2-yard loss. But again, Deshaun Jameson up with a good tackle there.
Yeah, so Deshaun T.J. Jameson making his presence known here in the second half for Jeannette.
So as long as we are able to, we plan to be there for you on Saturday afternoon. Sanders going to go to the air this time and overthrows his man, the Jayhawks, and I think it is. Another roughing the passer against the Hawks. That's Lewis Callaway over there on the sideline talking to Charlie Cook, longtime assistant here for the Hawks. And once again, it's Big Sanders. Look at him just forcing his way forward. Never lets that first guy bring him down, and he is always good for at least 5 yards. Looks like that's what he got there.
Another tough run.
Sanders last year, 553 yards rushing the football, but he was kind of a second option to Isaiah Berry, who was over 1,000 yards rushing last year. At least in this game so far tonight, that's kind of switched around, where Sanders is the main back and Berry kind of the change of pace guy. Sanders and Sanders in the backfield as the band tries to draw some inspiration here. We've got another tight formation here, and it's Sanders. Look at that cutback. Easy touchdown run. 6 yards.
We do have
we've got some extracurricular activity behind the play, but more importantly, it's an easy 6-yard touchdown run for the Clairton Bears.
Clairton has consecutive scores here tonight.
Dante Sanders has just taken over this game for the Clairton Bears, and he is eating this Jeannette defense alive.
Another look at the touchdown run. Goes to his left, takes a little cut back right to the center of the field and into the end zone. 6 points, Bears.
34-21 currently the score. Bears looking for 2 more. Sanders gets the snap, looking to throw it to the far side of the field. That's going to be picked off. Now 5:50 to go in the third. Greg Lee kicks it right down the middle of the field once again. It'll be fielded by the up man for the Hawks. Number 20 with the football, that's Noah Sanders, and he's got nowhere to go. Investment advice offered through Private Investor Group, a registered investment advisor. Private Advisor Group and Hoffman Wealth Management are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Well, Roberto Smith Jr. found Brett Birch in the flat. Birch had nowhere to go, turns around and runs into the backfield and gets.
Brad Birch floats that one downfield looking for Noah Sanders, but it is incomplete, and we'll bring up a third down here for the Hawks.
So we've got 4:30 in the running clock here in the third quarter.
Klein gets the snap. This one puts the foot to the ball. Barry's going to fair catch it, and they are in the backfield together now. Sanders gets a low snap. Going to follow the brother Dante. Gets to the sideline and then jumps out of bounds. So it'll be first down, played over. But instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 20. Now for the Clairton Bears. Sanders back to pass. Feels some heat, but Tashawn Jamison kind of ran right by him. And he had a receiver there, number 7. Andre Henderson went up to get it, but couldn't bring it in. Noah Sanders on the coverage. So low snap. Sanders just picks it up to try to do something with it. Still dancing around, and he's got some blockers in front of him. Look at him turn a play that was destined for nothing into not only something, but a first down and more. So it's 1st and 10 officially here. As Wright hands it off to Barry. Bounces off a couple of tacklers. Eli Benakonski will finally bring him down at about the 33. So they are looking for all or nothing this year. As he again will hand off to Barry. And he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Spanky Piskar shoots in from the middle linebacker spot to drop him for a loss.
Bears making some wholesale changes,
including Sanders coming back into the quarterback spot. So Michael Wright gets a couple of snaps. Now trots back over to the sidelines.
Dante Sanders also trots back into the game.
Big play here for the Hawks. They want to get this football back. 3rd and 8 from the 33. Low snap, kind of bumped around, but look at Buck Show. He still picks up a first down easily right through the Jeannette defense once again, and it's an easy first down for the Clairton Bears.
When Clairton has needed to make a big play, to get a first down, to move the chains, to push the Jeannette defense out of the way, they've gone to him tonight, and every time he's been successful. That time was no different.
It's almost unfair, like a man amongst boys out there. He is tough to bring down, and he's got some big boys in front of him blocking for him. Inside of 2 minutes to go here in the third. Sanders, long snap count, gives it to Dante. Look at that. He should have been stopped for a 2-yard loss. Instead finds a way to get maybe a yard on the play, just pushing his way forward. So 2nd down and 9 now.
Credit to Eli Benakonski there on the stop for Jeannette.
Brought down by number 23, Tashawn Jamison.
Game not over yet.
No.
Sanders to Sanders, and the Jeannette defense has solved something here on this drive as they stop him for the 2nd straight time right at the line of scrimmage. So now probably 4-down territory here for the Bears. And it will be Isaiah Berry running with the football. Tries to cut it back inside. He will do it. It's going to be close to a first down. Again, should have been stopped for a minimal gain. Instead, spins his way forward for about 9 yards. So start up the 4th quarter. Clairton Bears leading the Jeannette Jayhawks 34-21 here, and looking for more, but they've got a 4th down and 2 from the Jayhawk 14-yard line here. Barry, 5'7", 180 pounds, a little bit smaller than Dante Sanders, but he is quick and elusive. Looking to throw, but he's got all kind of room to run with this football. Wants to keep that clock running, so steps back inside, easily has the first down, spotted at about the 5, where it will be 1st and goal for the Clairton Bears. You could tell both of these teams are very good and going to be around at the end of the year.
Dante Sanders keeps it himself and surges ahead almost to the end zone. Toby Klein makes the stop for Jeannette.
Wayne Wade in his 7th season as the head coach here, 71-11 record overall coming into this football game. Isaiah Berry running with the football and just has it ripped away from him. Beautiful play there by Emilio Huerta, just taking that football away, and it's a turnover for the Jayhawks.
Just when you think Clairton is going in to close out the game, the Jayhawks come up with a stop, and take a look at Emilio Huerta. Just grabs the football from Isaiah Berry and takes it away from him. So turnover goes into Jeannette's favor, and they've got the football. A little bit of life left here for the Jayhawks. They've got a long field in front of them, but they've got 10:46 left.
So that's a couple of times tonight. The Jayhawks have got a turnover as Clairton was about to go in the end zone. The first time, Jimmy Sanders made an interception in the end zone for a touchback, and this time it's Emilio Huerta who takes that football away and gives it back to the Hawks, who will start 1st and 10 from their own 3-yard line. Birch and Smith in the backfield, dual wide receivers to both sides of the field. Huerta, now the center, has to snap it back to Birch, gets it to him, feels some heat, throws it out to Spanky Piscar. If he can get away from that one tackler, he would have had all kind of green, but a nice tackle on the play by number 10, Christian Jenko. Still a good gain for the Hawks, but not quite what it could have been.
Yeah, very good grab by Spanky Piscar. Makes a turn upfield and almost slipped it, but got out of bounds too. So stops the clock at 10:41. 7-yard pickup.
2nd and 3 for Jeannette. Birch, high snap off his hands, and did he get it back or not? The Bears are back there as well. They've got 3 fingers up, the referees do, so Jeannette will keep the football. Just bounced right off the hands of Brad Birch. So it'll bring up a 3rd and long now for the Hawks.
Wisely fell on the football there.
And the ball hits the turf. Jayhawks lucky to get it back. Got to be careful here with their backs up against their own end zone. Birch back to pass, has some time this time, and he's got a man. It's Jimmy Sanders. Can he make a move? Makes one, makes two, and there goes Jimmy again across the 25, out of bounds at about the 29-yard line. 1st down for the Jayhawks. Jimmy Sanders, game MVP for the Hawks here tonight.
They've made some plays to Jimmy Sanders tonight, and he has delivered. Take a look at it here on the replay. Birch deep in the end zone, throws a little cross. Sanders gets it just outside the 5-yard line, makes a couple moves, did what he needed to do to pick up the 1st down and more. 1st down, Jeannette.
We got the Trey Cunningham player of the game coming up at the conclusion of this one, and if we're picking a Clairton Bear, I think it's easily Dante Sanders, but if we're picking a Jayhawk, it's probably Jimmy Sanders. But we still have 9:59 to go here in the football game. Maybe somebody else can make a name for themselves. Birch and Smith. Back to pass is Birch. He's got all kind of time, and he's going to throw it out there looking for Toby Klein, who had a step.
Big heave by Birch downfield, falls incomplete. But we do have a penalty marker down. And roughing the passer against the Bears.
1st and 10 for the Hawks. Birch sends a man in motion. Low snap again, and Birch just kind of picked it up to try to run with it, and is lucky to get forward for about 2 there. Made something out of nothing. Last week it was a scrimmage with Stowe Rocks, and now opening the season officially here tonight with the Bears. Here's Spanky Piscar in another out route into Clairton territory.
Dante Sanders now making his presence felt on the defensive side of the football.
He has been all over the place here tonight for the Clairton Bears.
Jeannette in Clairton territory. This is definitely a must convert here.
Low snap, but again able to get to it. Hand it off to Roberto Smith Jr., but the whole Clairton defense was basically right where he ran to. Trailing 34-21, trying to make something happen here to get back in this football game.
Wayne Wade has called a timeout.
At McKee Stadium in Jeannette, the Clairton Bears leading the Jeannette Jayhawks 34-21, 7:53 to go in the 4th. About 40 Jayhawk fans or so on hand here tonight to watch this one, and the good news for them is they don't have to worry about beating the traffic tonight, as there won't be much of a traffic jam on the way out of McKee Stadium for once on a Friday night during the fall. Should get a good look at the Jayhawk cheerleaders there. Cheerleaders in the house tonight. The Jayhawk band in the house tonight.
We were treated to a little band performance at halftime.
Yes, we were. Great performance by them once again. Roberto Smith Jr., who takes a few steps before that ball was snapped. So instead of 4th and 4, it's going to be 4th and 9 now for Jeannette on play.
Now they are going to punt. I see Birch walking off the field there.
That penalty hurts. You can see Brad Birch, only a freshman, but he is mature beyond his years. Showed some real signs here tonight, but it's tough to get thrown in your first varsity start against the defending WPIAL champion and state-ranked #1 Clairton Bear.
Here, and they do get it away with 1 second left.
Klein puts the boot to it once again. He is a good punter, gets that ball up in the air. And just so here's Isaiah Berry running with the football, going to dance his way out of bounds after a solid game there. And then 2nd down and 7 here for the Bears after that 3-yard gain by Isaiah Berry. Berry gets it again and fights his way forward to the 40-yard line, so that'll bring up 3rd and about 3 now.
On both sides of the football.
Again, the Clairton Bears next week at Leechburg. Friday night, they'll take on the Blue Devils.
And give credit to the Clairton defense tonight, too. They've really stepped up here. They've made a stance in the second half, and
yeah, that first half looked really good for the Jayhawks. Again, we talked about it earlier. Jeannette, in games against Clairton since dropping to single A, has only averaged 12.7 points per game. They're above that here tonight, but again, all of that in the first half. Eli Benakonski with a nice tackle in the backfield there on Greg Lee.
By number 80, Eli Benakonski.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down now for the Bears. What will they elect to do? Dante Sanders coming back out there for the Bears, so maybe they're planning to go for it here.
And why not, Brent? They've been able to run him with much success tonight. When they needed a 1st down, they handed him the football, and he has delivered, utilizing the clock here as they let it run down under 10 seconds.
Looking for that long snap count. They've been able to draw the Jayhawks off a few times tonight, but not this time. It is Sanders running with the football. He's going to lean forward, and I think he got it based on that lean.
Indeed he did.
Anytime you need a 1st down, just hand it to number 1, and he is going to get it for you anywhere on the field.
Racking up the yardage for sure tonight, and in a big way. Tough customer. 1st down Bears. Clock continues to roll. Just what they had hoped to do, they did.
They call him Buck Show, and he's been putting on a show here tonight. 1st and 15 now for the Bears. Sanders gives it to number 2, Greg Lee, who stopped in the backfield. Ryan Kimmel with another nice tackle. He's played very well defensively here tonight for the Hawks.
Yes.
Gets a stop in the backfield. Again, only a sophomore. A lot of football left in Ryan Kimmel's career here at Jeannette.
Stepping right in here with success is Jonte Sanders, and they are going to let this clock continue to roll here and eat up every second that they possibly can.
Sanders back to pass. Now going to step up, feel some pressure. We've got a flag down, ball thrown, incomplete pass. So it will be 3rd down and 18 as the Hawks elected to decline the penalty, but now we've got another flag thrown, and this is a delay of game. So Jeannette was really not able to have the traditional summer camp that the football team does. Still had practice, obviously, every day after class, but no real camp.
Well, Jonte Sanders did a nice job to avoid the sack there, throwing complete to Andre Henderson, but not much doing there at all.
4th and forever now for the Clairton Bears. They need to get all the way down to the Jayhawk 46-yard line to get a 1st down here.
Looks like they are sending in the punting unit. Clock rolls. Back for the Jayhawks, Brett Birch, and also Jimmy Sanders.
For number 7 for the Jayhawks. And that's a boomer.
Yeah, Roberto Smith Jr. was in there, almost blocked it, but fielded by Jimmy Sanders, and he steps out of bounds just shy of midfield, where the Jayhawks will begin 1st and 10. 3:16 left in the football game.
Maybe get some points on the board here. Marcus Weakland, thank you for your work here tonight.
All right, Marcus.
Our cameraman for the evening. Done an outstanding job. So the Hawks will be back on offense here. Brad Birch still out there, the freshman quarterback. 6 foot, 180 pounds. And again, such excitement around him. You just don't see many freshmen play at all at Jeannette, let alone a quarterback. A couple of years we had Jackson Pruitt and Justin Kramer, who both played pretty quality minutes as a freshman, but not at the quarterback spot. Smith throws it back to Birch. Going to launch it down the field, looking for brother Brent, and it is broken up at the last second. Incomplete pass there.
Good job in the secondary there. Greg Lee, and also Andre Henderson. Birch with a pretty good throw.
Talk about Brad Birch. I mean, the excitement around him. It wasn't even really there for Terrell Pryor when he was a freshman. Terrell actually played receiver his first year. Wore number 44. Some people think the second greatest number 44 player in Jeannette history.
Standing to my right.
Toby Klein with a nice catch there, down inside the 35-yard line.
1st and 10, Jeannette at the Clairton 34-yard line.
Birch again, back to pass. He's had a good amount of time to throw the football here tonight, but that time he's going to be dragged down as he just kind of ran right into the blitz there.
Yeah, Don Napper gave chase and brought Birch down.
Dante Sanders again back there as well. You can see he's slow to get up. He's going to sleep good tonight. So we've got a 2nd and 17 here for the Hawks. 2:29 to go in the football game. Jeannette down 13. Birch back to pass once again. Feels some heat this time, but still gets the pass off and's got a man, as that is caught by Noah Sanders inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. So that'll be the first down for the Hawks.
How about that throw by Birch? Whole way across the field, far side of the field, takes a look to his right, goes back to his left, stands up in the pocket. What a throw.
Jayhawk offensive line has done a great job tonight in pass protection. They have really given him time to throw the football all night long, including on that play. Birch again back to pass, and again time, and he's got a man. It's Toby Klein, and look at Toby Klein go. He's got a 20-yard touchdown reception. Birch to Klein, Hawks back on the board.
Quick strike, Jeannette. We saw Toby Klein do that last year a few times, catches the football in the middle of the field, takes off and scores. He does it here again tonight. 20 yards into the end zone. Birch to Toby Klein.
So 34-27 the score. Eli Benakonski will be on to attempt the extra point here. And if he could get this, the Hawks then are down 6 points and could potentially try an onside kick, which they've been doing basically all night anyway. So the snap and the hold are good, and Eli Benakonski has been perfect. And Elijah Benakonski will squib it, but not really an onside kick, and the Bears.
2:12 left here in the game.
First down, Bears.
We've been in for such a treat here tonight, Brent, with these two teams, Jeannette and Clairton. And when Clairton has needed to make a move, they have gone to number 1, Dante Sanders. And he is, of course, in the backfield right now once again, and expect him to handle the football here.
I'm sure the Jeannette defense knows that as well, but can they stop it? Sanders gets the snap, hands it to Dante, and the Jeannette defense is right there. Stop him at the 40-yard line.
Number 1, Dante Sanders.
Toby Klein is there.
With the carry, brought down by number 6, Toby
Number
Klein.
64, Emilio Huerta,
Second down.
getting up from the pile. Also Noah Sanders. But most importantly for the Bears, the clock continues to roll.
Definitely have an opportunity to get the football back if they can stop the Clairton Bears, and that's a big if with the way Dante Sanders has been running here tonight. And of course, that offensive front for the Clairton Bears, too, doing a heck of a job. Jonte gets the snap, going to run it himself, trying to stay in bounds. You could tell he didn't want to go out there, but he probably would have gained some yards had he gone out of bounds. There is a timeout here, and there will be a 3rd down and long for the Bears. Jeannette could potentially get a football back here.
Well, Dante Sanders has been hugely successful for the Bears tonight, and why not give it to him again on 3rd and 13? Maybe that's what they're thinking, Brent. They keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock rolling potentially. We shall see. Now, last year, Sanders was tough against the Jayhawks too. Jeannette had tough time with him. He forced a fumble last year. He just really knows when to pursue and sit back, and they gave him the football tonight. They gave last year he burned the Jayhawks last year in the 4th quarter. He lined up in the backfield, slipped out into the flat. Brendan Parsons tossed him the football, and 33 yards later, he was in the end zone putting the icing on the cake for the Bears. So he's kind of in that position here tonight. Could put the icing on the cake and seal the deal for the Bears.
So here potentially is the football game. 3rd and 13 officially for the Clairton Bears at their own 39-yard line. And it will be Sanders running with the football. The Jayhawks saw it coming, throw him for a loss back to the 35.
Emilio Horta was there.
Timeout
James
as well.
Sanders was there. So the clock does stop. 1:08 left.
So the Hawks will get the ball back here, trailing by 6. So if they can find a way to get in the end zone, and then Elijah Benakonski, I probably shouldn't say this now, but has been perfect on his extra point attempts all night long, the Jayhawks are still in this football game. Sanders and Birch back to return for the Hawks, and of course, those are two pretty dangerous guys. Will the Hawks bring some heat here or look to return? It does look like they're going to drop back, except for Roberto Smith Jr., and another nice punt. Drives Jimmy Sanders back and doesn't field it in a great Clairton bounce all the way back to the 15-yard line. Big break there for the Bears.
16-yard line, so the Jayhawks have 57 seconds to go down the football field and try to put some points on the board to tie or take the lead. So here we go, Brent.
So how about this for your freshman quarterback? Nothing like this, his first start against the #1 team in the state. Can you put together a 57-second scoring drive to give your team the win? Birch gets the snap, back to pass. Plenty of time once again, drops it off to Toby Klein. He's out to the 20-yard line, so a gain of about 4.
This clock continues to roll.
No timeouts for the Hawks as they used them all on defense there to get the ball back. Low snap, Birch goes down to get it, and he feels some pressure, gets away from it, still keeps his eyes downfield, had a man, and it's caught. Toby Klein makes the catch and gets out of bounds at about the 36.
So clock stopped with 24 seconds left.
How about Brad Birch, though? Feels that pressure, keeps his eyes downfield the whole time, knows he doesn't want to run with it. He tries to get it downfield as far as possible and picks up some good yardage there to Toby Klein.
Fantastic delivery.
Birch again back to throw. And this time the ball's tipped, and it's going to be caught, but maybe shouldn't have been. Jimmy Sanders probably should have let that one be incomplete.
Looked like he was trying to call for a timeout, but Jeannette does not have any timeouts left.
Inside of 10 seconds, got to snap it here and down it. And
Just
that's exactly what they do. One final play, 3 seconds. Brad Birch and that freshman arm going to have to heave this one into the end zone to see if the Hawks can make a play.
Wow. What a football game.
This has been a great game here tonight from both teams, and it would be fun to see these two teams play each other again in October, maybe November, in the WPIL playoffs.
So will Jeannette try to throw it the whole way into the end zone, or do they have another thought in mind?
3 wide receivers to the near side of the field, and that's where Brad Birch is looking, but he is hit, fumbles, and that is going to be the end of the football game.
Oh, Tavon Briston still has the football, rumbling across midfield, still going.
He did not want to go down, but that is going to end the football game here. So the Clairton Bears get their first win of the football season, a 34-28 win over the Jeannette Jayhawks. They move to 1-0 on the season, and the Hawks fall to 0-1, their first home opening loss since 1993. And we were glad to have you along for the ride here tonight. Anthony, there are no moral victories in Jeannette. It's either win or you lose, so I'm sure they're not feeling too good about this one. But overall, a pretty good performance tonight against what is ranked the #1 team in the state, the Clairton Bears.
Yeah, and I think these are two of the best teams in single A, no doubt. Maybe two of the best teams in the entire state for sure, and they could be that way at the end of this year as well. So we were definitely treated to a fantastic football game here tonight on both sides. Tonight the Clairton Bears won. And let's just go through the scoring here. Let's recap. Jeannette scored first. 8:01 in the first quarter. Freshman quarterback Brad Birch to Jimmy Sanders, 20 yards for the touchdown. Eli Benakonski added the extra point. 7-0 Jeannette.
Brad Birch started strong here tonight, had a great game as a freshman quarterback going against the #1 team in the state. And Jimmy Sanders, as a senior, showing he's a pretty good wide receiver too. Of course, was the starting quarterback last year, but looking really good playing receiver here this year.
Bears did answer in the first quarter at the 1:45 mark. 24 yards. This time, Jaunte Sanders to Isaiah Berry. This was a 4th down play. Take a look at it here. Jaunte Sanders looks for Isaiah Berry right in the middle of the football field and into the end zone. He goes for the score. That was 4th down. 2-point conversion was no good. 7-6 Jeannette. Now in the second quarter, the Jayhawks would reply at the 10:27 mark. This time, Roberto Smith Jr. lined up at quarterback, takes the football off the ground, maybe just looks to get some yardage here, maybe get out of bounds, keep Jeannette with the football. Instead, he turns on the Jets, goes into Clairton Bear territory, sees nothing but the turf in front of him. Into the end zone he goes for the score. Eli Benakonski added the extra point. Jeannette 14, Clairton 6. The Bears would respond. 6:26 in the second quarter. This time, Jaunte Sanders' 1-yard run plunges into the end zone for the Bears. The 2-point conversion was Jaunte Sanders to Don Napper. So the Bears get the 8 points, and they tie up the football game.
Dante Buckshow Sanders finished the night with 214 yards rushing against these Jeannette Jayhawks. He put on a show here tonight. I'm sure he's a little bit tired, but he had a big game for the Clairton Bears.
20 seconds later, Jeannette would answer. This time, 57 yards, freshman Brad Birch to Jimmy Sanders to the end zone for the score. Look at him go. Jimmy Sanders all the way in. Jeannette gets the touchdown. Eli Benakonski adds the extra point. It's 21-14 Hawks.
Jimmy Sanders had a huge game here for the Jayhawks, and Brad Birch, again, the freshman quarterback. Big things expected from him over the next 4 years for these Jeannette Jayhawks.
At the 5:30 mark in the second quarter, Jaunte Sanders added again, this time to Brooklyn Cannon. Check out Jaunte Sanders, looks downfield to Cannon. He hauls it in 67 yards into the end zone for the score. The 2-point conversion in the pass variety was no good. We go to the locker room. Jeannette 21, Clairton 20.
Great concentration there. Brett Birch was right there in coverage. It went right through his hands, and the receiver able to come down with it and trot into the end zone for an easy 6 for the Clairton Bears.
The Bears picked up where they left off in the second quarter with a third quarter touchdown, the 11-11 mark, a 52-yard touchdown run by who else? Jaunte Sanders. What a tough runner here tonight, Brent. Right through the Jeannette defense into the end zone for the score. The 2-point conversion was of the pass variety, Jaunte Sanders to Isaiah Berry. This put the Bears in the lead, 28-21.
Third quarter is really what killed the Jayhawks here tonight. They pretty much won the other 3 quarters of the night, but Clairton Bears turned it on coming out of the locker room at halftime, and that run by Sanders gave the Bears their first lead and really kind of changed the momentum here tonight at McKee Stadium.
And a few minutes later, he got the football again, this time from 6 yards out. Jaunte Sanders gets the football from Jaunte Sanders, looks to his left, darts to his right, into the end zone for the score once again. This time the Bears went for 2 points and were not successful, so 34-21 to close out the third quarter scoring.
A nice little dance at the end of that one as well. That was an easy run for Jaunte Sanders. Most of the night he had some hard-fought yards, but look at this little shimmy at the end of this touchdown here, as it was a big score for the Clairton Bears.
And not much scoring at all in the fourth quarter until we get to the end of the game, 2:13 mark. Brad Birch to Toby Klein from 20 yards out. Toby catches the football, runs into the end zone for the score. Eli Benakonski added the extra point, so it was 34-28. the Bears still on top, and that ended up being our final score as the Hawks eventually did get the football back, Brent, but they ran out of time.
Had a chance with about 57 seconds left in the game. They were getting the football back after the defense stood up and was able to stop Dante Sanders in the backfield there. But this punt maybe should have been caught by Jimmy Sanders. Instead, he lets it drop, and the ball bounces Clairton's way all the way back to the 15-yard line. The whole time the clock is running. And then on the last play of the game, Brad Birch drops the football. Tavon Briston picks it up for the Jayhawks. Got some good, nice rushing yards there that'll show up in the stat column for tomorrow, but all for naught, as that would be the final play of the football game. Again, our final score tonight, Clairton 34, the Jayhawks 28. So, Anth, you've got to pick our first Trey Cunningham player of the game here tonight.
We are going with a Clairton player. Is that what we're going to do tonight? I think that's the right thing to do, absolutely. He was the one that made the moves for the Bears tonight when they needed it most, and he was successful running the football. And Dante Sanders, he's the man. 214
yards he finishes the night with rushing-wise, and he beat up some of those Jayhawk defenders. He's going to need a little rest here, but he'll be ready to go, and so will the Hawks next Saturday afternoon. They travel to Oakmont, Pennsylvania to take on the Riverview Raiders. Kickoff scheduled for noon. We will have that game for you here, as long as we're permitted, right here on the Westmoreland Sports Network.